Today you will learn how to implement chats in Unity using Firebase, and it's completely free. It will have image support and everything like that. So I can show you the end result now, so you can see for yourself what the end result will be. So you input your nickname. You can write stuff there. Yep, and it grabs the social media image from the link, and also it knows about direct links. You see, this is a direct link to an image, and you can also click it. I can click it, it opens it in my other browser here. See it here. And another thing is it works with a WebP format, which Unity doesn't work by default. So we'll be using a plugin for that, but it's easy, don't worry. Hi guys, I'm Lucian, welcome back, and let's make this chat a reality. So stick with me until the end and you'll get the fully functional chat in Unity. So let's start with the new project. I'll be using 2022.1 version of Unity. Alright, that's created, and let's also go to Firebase. I'm searching for it as my parents search for Facebook or whatever they're using. They go on Google and they search Facebook on Google. To console, let's create a project. My first project. Let's create alright, I have to put dashes. I don't need that. Alright, the Unity project is open. Sample scene. I guess I like to rename this to main. Let's put it here because we will only have one scene. Let's see. Firebase project is live. Build real-time database, I think it is. Create database. Whatever you like, doesn't matter. I'm from Europe, so let's use the Europe ones. Yeah, you can use it like that, or I can use it. We will be modifying these anyway, so doesn't matter. An error. Alright, let's try maybe the location doesn't work. Okay, let's go to rules, and we want to make these true and true because we want to stay true. And then we also want messages. I'm copying this from a note on my other monitor. This will come in handy later when we will be requesting just some of the messages, not all of them, because that's how we will refresh our list. image. Okay, so this is our URL and we will be using it later. Let's jump back into Unity, and I guess we can start creating our UI. Canvas, scroll view, let's get rid of this viewport. There's the content. So I guess the most important object in our application, or in our chat, is the message. So let's create a message. Basically, I have my other project that I created beforehand on my other monitor, and I'm just copying it, just to prevent any mistakes. So let's create a message. UI image, and this will be our message. Let's see, the message will be a horizontal layout group, and I don't usually use these. Let's call it, and we will have two types of messages. We will have a left message and a right message, or my message and your message. And we do that because we want to be able to customize them separately. That's better in the long term. You can modify them independently, and they will be variants of this base prefab. Alright, then we'll create the content, which will be a vertical layout group, and this one will have an image as well, and also these, since I'm not using them. I don't need this to be a raycast target. Let's put some padding, so be nice. Don't care about this. Let's put it like middle left. Yeah, middle left. Let's create the username. Yes, let's import TMP essentials. And that's done. Let's make this smaller and make it a bit darker. Let's see, 18. I guess we can make it this. And I don't think we need this here. Yeah. Okay, that's our text mesh pro, which plays nicely with its parent vertical layout group. And we'll just copy and paste this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Text. And the text is, around, let's see, like 23. It's not bold, and it's full size, and let's make it, and let's go back to this as well, so it won't be pitch black. It's easier on the eye. Actually, we don't need this image on the base prefab. It will be just a container of our views. Yeah, actually, let's create a raw image, because that's It's easier to use a raw image if you download images, because you don't have to deal with creating and managing sprites in memory and all that. And we don't need raycast on it. And we put a layout element. We will be modifying this in code, so we'll be leaving it as it is now. And we will also have a date. And the date, well, actually, let's just copy and paste it. Copy and paste the username. Okay. No, the date is something like that. The text is some text. And the username is username. That's our message. Let's see if I have everything here. Let's make this content a bit transparent. Another thing. So this message needs a script, so let's create a script. And it will be, wait, Unity. Alright, Visual Studio, let's do this. Message view. Let's create a nice namespace, because we are not monsters to put scripts directly in the global namespace. And this message view will have, reference to its views. So it'll be username and date and text, and you can do in Visual Studio Control D, text, and Control W to select the entire word, date. Let's see, we need the layout element. Because we will be modifying this in code, as I said. And we also need the image itself. And the layout group of the message itself. And let's say this is because we will be adapting the image to aspect ratio, and we need a maximum image height for that. And I don't know, 500. It's a good value for me, works for me. So we're adding the script now on the game object, and let's drag this babies here. Image layout element, yes, and the image itself, and the date, and the layout group of this one, itself in a way, yeah. So that's the prefab. The content size filter goes on the content, but let's wait for that a bit. Yeah, so this is the message, so it adapts to its content, right? Yeah, and it needs somebody to scale this layout group. and that one will be the content, which will have content size filter and another layout group on it. Actually, let's add it now. So it will be vertical layout group and the content size filter, preferred size, and let's add some padding, like 10 here. You know, choose whatever you like. I think this matters. Actually, it matters, yeah, when there are just a few elements in the scroll view. You want them to be at the bottom, usually in a chat, and that's what this does. And also, very important, basically the pivot has to be at the bottom. Yes. And I think maybe no, it's 0, yeah, at the bottom, because what this does is it makes the content grow upwards or shrink from upwards when the size changes, and that's usually how chats work, or should work, in my opinion. Okay, again these things, but we'll keep the width of the children expanded, because we want the messages to occupy the entire horizontal space. Okay. Vertical fit, all that, and we can even put it here now, and you can see it works as is expected. Well, let's modify this one. You can see you can have long messages, short messages, all of that. Well, now let's put this. Let's make it into a prefab. Bam. And let's make a folder. Let's make a variant of this prefab, and I'll call it me, and the other one I'll call it other. And let's see, well, let's see, can I do something like, yeah, I can do something like this. It doesn't really matter the size here in the prefab visualization, but let's see, for me I want the message to be to the right, and I will do that using some padding. So I'll put some padding to the left, so it will be some space, you know. So we'll have some space here, and child alignment to middle right. Nice. Let's see what else. Guess on this there's no more things to be added. Let's make this green. Right, a bit green, so we can see our messages are green. Okay. And let's see, do we have anything else here to change? Actually, let's make this spacing a 3, but we'll make it, yes, we'll make it into the base prefab. We'll make it a 3. Boom. Save. Go back. The alignment, let's go to the username. Wait, something's not right. This should be middle right. Yes, middle right. Okay. Yes, that's better. And let's make actually the username and the date more transparent. Yeah, that's good. Save. And that's our message. And let's see the username. Do we have to do anything? Nothing. The text needs to be aligned to the right. I think. Should it be aligned to the right? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's better if it's aligned like this. Yeah, I think it's this way is better. And image. Let's see, does the image need anything? No, I think it's alright as it is. No. And the date. No, the date is fine. Okay. Well, then let's go to the other. And again, let's make it bigger so we can see it. So this one is to the left, and this one represents messages from other users. It will be child alignment, middle left. Okay. And it will have some padding to the right. Okay. Let's make it like this so we can see it better. Content. We will have middle left, child alignment. Let's make it like this so we can make this override here. You see it's like it's an override now, even if it's the same as the base prefab. I just like to do that. I guess I can make the color a bit more transparent and the other messages, so our messages, our green messages, stand out. Okay. So the username. I guess the username, it's alright. The text. Yeah, the text can be left aligned as in that one. Actually, not as in that one. Oh, yeah, actually, let's make the text left aligned for both of them. And the way I will do that is by modifying the base prefab. So, because they both want to be left aligned. So, just do that in the base prefab. Let's see, it's the text left aligned, and actually I want it to be at the top. So if I make this bigger, well, actually it doesn't matter if it's at the top or not, but anyway, let's go back, and we are here, left aligned, and for the me, it's left aligned, but it's an override, so we revert it because we're good citizens. Okay, so I think that's it for my message and your message. And let's see how it looks. Nice. Maybe we talk too much. Yeah, that's. Let them talk. Be a good listener. that's it. Nice. Let's disable the vertical movement, the horizontal movement, and I guess it's enough here. There's nothing else to be done. Also like to replace this with a rect mask 2D because it's a bit more performant last time I checked. So okay, so we've put the pivot here at the bottom, so the content grows upwards, as you see. And for the items as well, we need to do that. Pivot, go down. And that way, when you modify, well, let's see, does it work here? Yes. I think we have to re-add them. Interesting. Anyway, doesn't matter that much. So those are our messages. What's the next step? Well, we can have a messages controller like this, which let's create a message controller. Yeah, wait for compilation, blah blah blah. And actually, let's put these both into the scroll view folder. Yeah, well, the standard in C# is to capitalize these, but sometimes I don't like it, and I don't know, your choice. Messages controller. So the controller will need, let's get rid of this. The content, it will need a prefab. And it will store your nick. And somebody will initialize it. Not that. Guess who? There will be a script that will give us our nickname. Okay, and there will be someone else that will be inserting images into this controller. So and it will be inserting them at the bottom. And we need a message model. And what is a message model? It's whatever holds your data for a message. You can call it anything you like, but I like the MVC pattern, the model view controller pattern, and it's very easy to understand. You'll see. So let's call this no. Let's change this as well. So the message has a username, basically whoever has sent the message, the text, and the Unix timestamp of the message. And a nice utility here, so we can beautifully display the date. And the way you do this is this way. And this wasn't available a few years ago in Unity, if I remember correctly, but it should be now. It's very easy. Nice, so we have a model, so the controller can receive on a list of models. And then it can do its job here. It will basically go over all of the messages and it will instantiate them. Yeah, okay, works for me. Let's create something like let's call it MSG. So if the message is ours, we return the me content prefab. The prefab, not the content. Makes sense, right? Otherwise, return the other one. And then we do and we instantiate the prefab inside the content, and by default you should use false for UI instantiations. That's a guideline from Unity docs. And again, the content is this thing here, the one that we drag. So we have our instance. So we're retrieving the view component of this message, and we basically want to bind the data from the model to the views. It's not binding per se, but no, we are updating just views. And let's generate this baby. And I like to remove that. Actually, I cannot remove it. Make it public. So it's kind of obvious, I guess, what we will do here. right? Do username dot text is username dot username message dot username. All right, let's keep the text for later, and we will do this nice date string that we prepared before, and we'll do actually we have so we'll be displaying the time and then the date. All right, and here for the text we will just display it as it is for now. Message.text, and that's it, I guess, for now. Yeah, that's for the message view. For the controller, let's add the controller. Scroll view will have the controller. Which needs the content. And the prefabs. So that's it for it. So now let's add some plugins. We will need some plugins. So first we need the native WebSocket for Unity. I have the link here. It's this one. And let me check the exact URL. Oh, actually I think we won't be using native WebSocket. Damn it. No, we won't be using it because like that's a reminiscence of my first solution for this project. But since we'll be using Firebase, we won't be using native WebSocket. So next is a Unitask, and you can just copy and paste this from the repository. I'll be posting this repository publicly. You'll see it in the description. Let's go here. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Oh, but look, with this one for the WebP plugin, basically we have this WebP plugin. Let me show you. The WebP plugin makes WebP possible in Unity. So you can download and display WebP images. Yes. Somehow for this one it works. I don't know why it works. So you have this .git, then path. Oh, strange. Anyway, and this one also needs, where are you? This piece of code here. and it's basically from their documentation. Bam. And I think this thing as well, yeah, this thing as well. Org. I think it needs it. I mean, if they say they need it, then they need it. Okay. And there's a plugin that I've made. It's the brain behind the thing that grabs images from HTML files or from any URL, basically. Okay. So that's that. What else? Yeah, we will need the Newton soft JSON. But I need to see which one did I use. Where did I get this JSON, Newton soft JSON? I think it's... Oh, I think I know. No, I don't know. Wait, do I have it here? Yeah, well, actually there comes a time in every Unity developer's life where you have to create an assembly definition. So let's do that. All right, it looks good. Let's get a reference to TextMesh Pro. And Unitask. And let's see, I have Newton. Oh, okay, I have this one, but where do I get it from? I think it's in my... Let's see. I don't know where I have it from. I think it's built in Unity, or is it a dependency from one of my packages? Anyway, if you don't have the Newton soft JSON, it's this one. Let's see, where is it here? Maybe it's coming from here, I don't know. But if not, then I guess you can find it. Maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, is this one. Well, I'll use it at your no risk, but it's not that. Okay, yeah, the latest one is this one, and documentation. I'm just showing this so you can install it for yourself in case it doesn't show up. Source code. You get package. Yeah, anyway, I mean, if you will install everything that I've installed, then you will have it. So I guess it doesn't, we shouldn't waste more time on this. So you will be having it here. You can reference it. You see assembly references, buttons of JSON. Okay. So let's see, do we have any other plugins to install? Okay, we have TextMesh Pro hyperlinks. This will allow us to click on links from TextMesh Pro, which is very handy. And it's this. And this is actually, it's not mine, it's from this guy's repository. He made it, but I made a fork because I wanted to change something. Basically, I had to increase something. You can read about it here. It's completely safe in my opinion. So let's download this baby. See, I already have it here. I mean, we can put it directly here. I mean, I have no problem with that. Let's see if it works out of the box. Binding flags do not exist in this context. Huh. How so? Do they exist now? Okay. Well. Now you don't have inconsistent line endings anymore. That's that. So let's go on our prefabs and let's put this hyperlink. Yeah, basically, you know, you hover it, it will have a color, then you press it, etc. And we will only detect links in the text, not in the username or, you know. And what's next? Let's see, next plugins. Yeah, another plugin that I worked on, this one. It's grab text, and this one grabs the texture from a URL, be it a direct link image or an HTML, or that's it, basically the two cases. And it's public, so you can look into it. And let's see. Oh, actually, I already put it here, right? Yeah, it's already here. Okay. That's it, so back to coding. Message view. So we put this here, but now we want this message view to be a little smarter. So we will do two things. We will be making it detect links, and if there's an image of that link, it will display it, the first link. If there are multiple links, it will only display it from the first one. So let's do some nice things here. So we have this thing. No. So what this will do, it will start loading an image, and it will check whether that loading was cancelled, if somebody wanted to cancel that loading. Because when you have a highly dynamic UI, you know, you will you will cancel the loading at some point. If you scroll fast, you don't want to load some stuff anymore that's in progress. And let's do this. No. Oh, okay, I know. I have to reference this thing. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Command. Oh, correct. Okay. Okay, Unity. Somebody doesn't like it. Oh, okay, I had to apply the settings. Okay. Good. Let's continue. So, this grab text functionality is abstracted away from us. Just provide the URL, the image, and the cancellation token. Then, when it's done, we check again if the cancellation was requested or if the load failed, and we just return early. We enable the image layout element, and then we will want to update the aspect ratio of the image. We'll do that later. And we want to ignore this one because we don't care about it not being able to whatever, fetch the image. Well, we want to show other exceptions. Let's do this update. I hate the private. Okay. So what this will do will update the aspect ratio based on all of the constraints we have. So this is an integer, so let's be careful. Let's make it a float. So this is the available width of the entire message, and we subtract the padding. And now that's the available width of that our text can occupy, or image, or in this case the image. And we get the height, based on the available width and the aspect ratio of the image, so we can always see the entire image and preserve its aspect ratio. And we simply now make sure that the height doesn't exceed the max height. Okay, so now the height is the real height that we want, and now we need the width, the new width. So we set the height, and now we set the width, and the width would be just the height times the aspect ratio. Because the aspect ratio is the width divided by height, you know, and the width is then this times this, right? Because this is the biggest one. Anyway, math. And let's, okay, we're calling that, good. And let's make some room here because we do something big here. So I'll be copy and pasting a regex expression from the internet, from Stack Overflow. So don't expect you to understand this, I don't understand it either, but it's a regex expression to detect URLs, and it works pretty fine. And the way you do that is you do so you will be replacing the dot text with the syntax for TextMesh Pro is link, and to be link equals, you need to put double quotes and you escape them, and the way it works is $sign and $1, it will be the referenced match, so the entire URL. So basically it will point to the URL, and it will also display the URL. This like HTTPS blah blah .jpeg or whatever. Okay. Now we replace this here. So that's that, and then comes the second part. So we want to detect what's the first image and whether that's an image or not. So we'll have and we're using the raw text. Just we don't need to use like the rich text that we formatted here. We just use directly the one from the data. Just makes more sense for me. So if somebody's successful here, so we have the first URL here. So what this does is this one comes from the Unitask package, and what it does, it adds a specific model behavior to this object if it doesn't already exist, and it gives you a cancellation token that's activated, so to speak, when that object is destroyed. So basically this is a token that somebody gets, and it can check it as many times as it needs, and it will always know if that object was destroyed or not, and it will cancel some operation. In this case it will be the image fetching operation, right? So and this is this thing about forgetting, and also because this is an async call, we have to either await it or forget about it. And something that I didn't really see, I put 2 spaces usually between these, the first, anyway, something that I didn't see online is when people use these entry points in from sync to async contexts, they don't use this thing here, and exceptions can be just hidden away. If you wouldn't use this, there's a high chance that if something throws an exception here, you won't be seeing it, not even an error log, anything. And that's why in the entry points I recommend doing this. So from sync to async, use try catch. Simple. And if there's a better way, let me know. I want to learn too. Alright, so we're pretty much done with the message view. So it puts hyperlinks, clickable hyperlinks, and it starts loading any images, first image, if there's any. Right, let's do our input box so we can create the images. Okay, let's go back here. So let's create a message input panel. We will create a button. Where are you, button? Button. Send button. Let's make you prettier. Well, actually I have this icon here, but you know, just take whatever icon you want from the internet. Make sure it's not copyrighted. I'll create a small folder here, this one, and I have this small image here. Let's make it sprite. Let's add it to the button, and we don't need the text on the button. Well, that's it. Yes, we can do something like P70. I don't know. I guess I like this one. So let's make the message panel. Let's move this up a bit. Message input panel. And a button. And also let's make it, you know, so you can press it I think it's like -20, no, -10, something like that. This one expands the hitbox of the button, which is a nice addition in recent versions of Unity. Wait, something's up here. Maybe it's about this. Yeah, so you put wrap mode, clamp, so you won't be seeing that line here. Okay, let's add an image, I think, or text mesh pro input, which will have an image input field. Let's see, this. Should I make it a layout group? No, just I don't know, just keep it like this, I guess. And I hate this thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. Should we change anything here? Font size. Standard single line. Enter text. Okay, that's our input panel. Now, let's see. Let's create our chat script. So this will be like the manager of the manager of the manager. Yeah, where should we place it? I think we'll place it just right here. Whoa. And the chat will reference all of our things here, like, because nobody accesses these ones, I'll make them private. Well, actually the ones here, nobody accesses them either, but yeah, well, let's stick to the same style. Also, I prefer it like this, you know. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, by the way, this is the nickname input. We'll talk about that later. Let's put a space there. Actually, this one is related to it as well. Right. And actually this will be our nickname input panel. And let's also put, because we'll be hiding this and showing this, we need the canvas group for it. actually Visual Studio makes completions for us. Enter button, send button. So we will be doing this. So basically we will be handling the send buttons click. And we will also be handling when you press enter. I like to do it like this just for some indirection. What else? Let's do something like this. So if the input is valid, which means that we have some text there, we check if we can send stuff. And we also have this like we can send if we are not already sending, and is input valid. Okay, sounds good. If we can't send, then just ignore. And we create our message model. Which is just username is our nickname, which is, I guess we'll have to store our nick here as well. So that's our message model. And yeah, we'll be sending it. But before that, let's create our chat client, which will be here. And I used an interface because there were multiple implementations, and yeah, I stuck with this one. I had like a Firebase client, a WebSockets client, and now it's just a Firebase one. But it's nice to have it like this. You can test it there. Oh, yeah, actually I need a message handler as well. So message handler, which is just somebody that handles messages. No. And that's it. Message handler. And we have send. And that's our client. So now we can get our client. So client equals, so this will be a component attached to our chat object. And let's also think about the nickname panel as well. So we have it here. And the enter button will be the button for the nickname. When we enter our nickname and press enter, we will want to have something like on start clicked. Okay. And the nickname input, nick input on submit will be the same. Oh, this is an input field. And the first time that we load the application, we want the nick input to be focused, right? Good for user experience. And let's see. We want to be proactive and disable the send button. If we cannot send a message, right? It's pretty sensible thing to do. We check the nickname. So if there's no nickname and you press the start, then nothing happens. And let's create a init, and it will be async, because we'll be initializing the client, and maybe the client has some async stuff in it. And because this will be a sync to async call, we need exception handler. The debug log exception, and when you start we need async. Okay, and we do just chores, some chores here, you know, like nick input panel. We need to disable it, then await our client. And basically we are passing it this as our message handler, so the client tells us, okay, some messages arrived, and then we we then handle them. And we implement this interface somewhere. Yeah. And I like to do it like this. Sometimes when it's not, it shouldn't be publicly available. And basically we just insert the messages and the controller knows what to do. Let's see. Init async. Yeah, so when you initialize, you then get the nickname, and actually you also want to disable this one. And we initialize the controller with our nickname. Remember, the controller is this guy that creates prefabs, instantiates prefabs for us and puts the messages there and all that. Okay, and we also, because we're good citizens, we activate the input field. So for a good experience, user experience, the input box will be, the message box will be focused, and you can just start typing and press enter. What else? Oh, let's actually send the message. So let's create a message sending method. Unit task. So what this will do? We want to be proactive and disable stuff around here. False. And we want this also false. And this will be our async call. That's why we are wrapping it. And we're clearing the input, right? And after that, we activate stuff back. Let's do this as well. Okay. And some additional benefit here for the user. So if we are not on mobile, we want to activate this baby back. So you can write, press enter, write, press enter, you know, bam, bam, bam. But on mobile, we don't want the keyboard always activating. I mean, it looks good to me. The chat component. Well, let's see what's next. Let's create the Firebase chat client. That's sometimes my naming convention. Okay, so let's put our endpoint here. So because so I see I have 8 more minutes to record the remaining of my video. So unfortunately I'll be just cutting it and pasting it here, and I'll try to explain it. Let's just make sure it works first. So I'm on a rush. 7 minutes. All right. Actually, let's make it. We have a chat. This is just for organizational purposes. And of course there's a nickname, input panel, and I don't know if I'll have time for that too. Let's make it this. This is a nickname input panel. And I'll have just fast here. So make input, enter button, canvas group. Message controller. Is it here? Yes. Message input. Send button. So this is a nickname panel. So it will start like that. Go like that. Something happens with my light and I don't know. Oh yeah, let's put our endpoint here. Where is it? Where's our endpoint? Oh yeah, we have to add this as well. Firebase. And let's go to our endpoint. Copy. Well, I don't know, will that work? Because I know we changed to US. Let's see. Is input valid if it's not empty and if it's not sending? And if, oh yeah, we are not sending the message. Now it should definitely work. Famous last words. It never works in the second try. Life of a developer. 3 minutes left. Me. My message. My message. So it works. Okay, let's try a URL. Oh, it works. That's nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. So it seems like it works, and I mean, I won't be making a build to show you like the second user joining. I hope you believe me that it will work. Let me go over this thing Like it's available, you know, it's available. You can go and download and look into it. But what it does, it starts a loop to fetch the messages once a few milliseconds or I don't know, seconds, and we just create a JSON out of our message, and we just send the JSON data using a Unity web request. And I'm using this one because it's cross-platform. You can use it in WebGL as well, so you don't need to use a different thing. Basically, Firebase doesn't work in WebGL very easily. And here's the loop that updates the messages, and this takes a timestamp from the internet. It's not that important. And this thing, what it does, basically it works with Firebase to get the last messages since our last timestamp. So we're only reading the last messages. And in here you see our messages. So we won't be fetching all of the messages always. And it's just basic error handling, you know, and deserializing the response and all that, and sending back the handle messages. Yeah, maybe I'll make a follow-up video on this. I will be making a video for an optimized version of this chat, but for most of you, like this functionality here, it's everything that you'll ever need. So you don't need to over optimize or early optimize, right? So thanks for watching, and you can check my next video just to see how this works. And yeah, thanks for watching. I have 5 more seconds left. Yeah, see you next time. Bye. Oh, actually we have more time left. They're just... Alright, let's relax a bit. So what I was saying was, I have 2 SD cards on my camera, and I'm a rookie, you know, like this is my second video on this channel, official second video. So oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm happy like a child. So some camera have 2 cards, and when they finish one card, they can use the second card and they can record on that card. And I thought that I was maxing out both my cards, but it was just one card. So we have 1 hour and 51 minutes. Imagine 1 hour and 51 minutes with me. Anyway, let me go more in depth for this thing. And if you're not interested in it, like I've already covered everything, so I guess you don't need to stick. But for those of you that are more curious, so the way it works is that our message, we have a timestamp for our message, this thing, and when we send a message to Firebase, we want to also store its timestamp. Maybe Firebase already stores it for us somehow, somewhere, I don't know. But I wanted to keep it simple in a way. So we are storing the timestamp. So when we are sending this, we are retrieving the real timestamp from the internet, because we want to get real, right? And there are multiple ways of doing that, but I'm using this service. You see, it's just an URL and you parse its JSON and you read it, and that's your timestamp. Simple. And then I'm using the timestamp to set it here. See, so we are sending the message model, but this one is, hey, I need to be filled, right? So that's what we are doing here. And then we use this Newtonsoft JSON plugin to serialize it to JSON, and then use a put request, and then yeah, this is a thing that I don't know, maybe it's a bug in Unity or something, but Unity web request.post doesn't work in this version, and let me know if you know the reason, guys. I don't know, but you need a post request to this URL. So basically this is the endpoint, and in Firebase databases are just a JSON file, and our messages is a JSON file. And you have the endpoint and our messages, messages.json. That's our final DB URL. And we set it there. Set this here. We start that loop that retrieves messages, but let's go back to where we were. We were sending here. So we're executing a post HTTP request to this to our database with the JSON data of the message. And the way it works in Unity currently for Firebase, I don't know for others, I have to use a put request and then change the method to post, which I don't know is kind of stupid, but that's how it works. I should only be able to do this, and that should work like that, but anyway, I don't know. And I have to set the content type to JSON in the request header, and then wait for it. And yeah, I guess I could have handled this better, but actually no, I am handling it better. Yeah, because I'm throwing an exception, and the user of this, whoever the caller of this method, needs to handle the exception. Alright, and that's the sending part. And when I initialize it, I start an update loop, and I'm not using Unity's update because I don't want to request messages each frame, because it's not ethical, right? And of course, maybe you get like rate limited from Firebase or something like that. I don't know. That's why we're using half a second delay here. So while we are initialized, which means our destroy wasn't called or disposed in this case, we handle new messages, and that's it. This is basically a slow update method. Moving forward, this is handling the messages. So we have the last handled timestamp, and this is the timestamp of the last message that we received, and it's initially zero, and I mean, you don't need to do that, it's 0 by default, but I like to make it like that, and this is like the query for Firebase. It's specific to Firebase, so this is added to the URL. You see the URL, then the query sign and the query, order by timestamp, and start at our timestamp. And this will be 0 initially. And we use a get, we wait for it, and then we retrieve the text, the response body, and yeah, because we have this text, it can be directly mapped into a dictionary from string to the model, which is exactly this. This string is mapped to our model, text, timestamp, username, see? And this is a dictionary. it's mapping strings to message models. And we just get the values, which will be just the messages. We don't care about the IDs currently. And Firebase doesn't sort things by default. It sorts them when selecting them and using this order by and starts at. But for some reason we have to sort them again here, and we sort them by timestamp. So this is the classic, ascending rule, and we have to use it like this because timestamp is a long type, and the sort needs an integer return type, and we use -1 and 1. Let's see, what's this? Oh yeah, this is an additional filter. Okay, I don't know if this is needed, but it's a good safety check, just so we won't see duplicate messages. So it just finds all of the messages whose timestamp is later than our last received timestamp. If there are no messages, we don't call this, we don't bother the message handler with an empty list, it's rude. And we update the last handled timestamp. Basically the message, this is like the new hippie way of getting the last message, but I like it because I like Python. Maybe I was too harsh with hippie. No, it's not hippie, it's just cool. Yeah, you get the timestamp of the last message and you store it. And here I'm returning null if it's a success, and I'm returning an error if it's an error. And I think I'm doing something with the error. No, I'm not doing anything. Well, I mean, let's not do anything then. Here it'd be nice to display the error actually. Should we? Nah. I don't think it's that important. We can display a log maybe. Let's display a log. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. I guess I won't be making this any longer since I've already said goodbye, already ended the video. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it twice. And I hope I can see you in the next video where I will use a paid plugin to optimize this. And as I said, this is a plugin that I worked on, so of course it would benefit me to get that plugin, for you to get that plugin, but most of you won't be needing it. Like you need like 1,000 messages or something to notice any lag, or so you don't really need it. So no. But yeah, I guess if you're interested, you can check my next video as well. So thanks for watching and see you. Bye.